Welcome to another episode of Pen Rambling. So in this week we're going to talk about capping options, which I can finish within like 2 minutes. I was thinking about what should I put as my title, because if capping mechanism, I'm not going to talk about the capping thing that prevents the ink from drying out, things like that. I'm talking about the options of capping that comes with a pen. So it may seem like it is not much compared to like nib options and things like that, but I came across this video while I was surfing the YouTube, and there was this buyer that wanted to buy fountain pen for himself. And so this seller asked this buyer, what is your price point, like the normal question. And then how about how do you like your pen? Because it says that when you use a fountain pen, and you usually want to use it to enjoy the pen, and then they come to this part where it asks, where the seller says that for a twist type of pen, which I have one in front of me, that you should enjoy while you unscrew the cap to reveal the pen. So I said, it seems like a topic to make for this week pen rambling. So in front of us, in front of you, I have several writing instruments, pen, for this week. So I'm going to talk about, together with the ball pen, gel pen type of pen, other than the usual fountain pen. So the first capping mechanism will be the slide type, where if I pull the pen, it will reveal the tip and make it a more usable pen. Instead of having it this short, for some people with a larger hand, then it might seem like it is not a practical pen, although we like to bring pens on the go. Okay, and then there are retractable pen, where there's no cap for this pen, like the one that is sliding. And there's two types of retractable pen that you usually can find in the market. One is just like your clicky type of retractable, where you just press the same head or tail, and then it will reveal and hide it away, reveal again, and then hide it away like this. Or you have the other one, which is when I push the top part to reveal the pen, and I need to press another part of the pen. For example, this one will be the clip area, to close it again. And then we have this type of twist mechanism that is very common for a more expensive luxury rollerball. Do you call rollerball for this type of pen? Because it never occurs to me that rollerball may be calling like this. I wonder. And then you twist it again to close the pen. And then we have the normal snap cap, where there is a cap, and then you pull it in order to reveal the pen, and then you use the cap to close your pen so that it is closed and won't dry out. Same goes as in fountain pen. We have the snap cap, okay, and then we have the one that the normal ballpoint, usual ballpoint doesn't have, that is the twist cap, where you unscrew to reveal your pen. And then my latest addition that is debuting today is my retractable pilot pen, okay, which is quite famous in the fountain pen community world. So by this I actually finished with my capping option title thing. But I want to talk about when a different type of capping option may be useful, or maybe some people considered while they are choosing their pen. So for example, retractable ball pen or gel pen, okay, or this type of slide may be useful for those who are on the go and who hates to have cap on their pen. People like me who prefer to have everything in one piece while I'm on the go will prefer this type of retractable clicky pen. For example, if I was a student, when I was a student long time ago, I would choose, if I was to buy pen, I would choose pen that is like this instead of having the cap, because I am one of those person who uses the pocket of my bag as a pen case or pencil case. Okay, I'm not the person who will bring another pencil case or another pen case with me, unless of course that particular subject that I'm studying requires tools that is not in my usual pen stationery that I usually carry around. So there's a dedicated pocket in my bag that I actually stores the pen. So it will be a few of my pen, and then the stationery like pencils, okay, like pencils, rulers, and I usually go for rulers that are metal because I have this weird feeling that I might bend and then broke my ruler into two. I break my rulers into two, which I don't want to see if I want to use a ruler. So this type of pen will be good for people like they don't like to be fussed about with the cap. So in case cap is lost, and especially people who are just like me who doesn't bring an additional pen case around, not additional, another separate pen case around, if I lose this cap, I won't be able to put it back in my bag with the cap, just like when I do with a cap. So I will be afraid that this ink will be touching the fabric of my bag, and then the leak will happen, and in the end of the day I'm gonna have a disaster on my bag, especially if that pocket is sharing with other parts of the bag. It's not like a separate one. So those are for capping. For people who like capping, snap cap, this is a bit more difficult. I think I have another one. Yeah. Okay, for people who like snap cap, there are people who like to do this all the time, either to annoy people or because they are feeling nervous, or out of a habit while waiting for things to happen or things to pass by, and then they just do this. I do have that, but I don't tend to do it when I'm with my friends, or if I have a retractable, I'll do this as well. I know it's kind of annoying, but there are people who do this to release their tension, to calm down, or they just cannot stand waiting. Okay, so those are the capping, snap cap. So snap cap for ball pen, gel pen, or the things like that, usually people will use it because they like it, the feeling of opening a pen and then write it down and then put it back. There are people who like that, but there are people who just prefer to have that sense of, I'm having a pen, even though it's not expensive, but it's a writing material. Like it feels like there is more sense of it to have it capped, snap cap. And then there is this roller, which usually you usually sees it in a more expensive type of pen, where you find it in this type of gift pen to people, because it feels like more luxurious, maybe. But in fountain pen world, okay, snap cap is usually the preferred method or the preferred style for those who are on the go. By on the go, I mean here will be pens that you bring to office, to work, or maybe some of us will bring it to outdoor fields, like you want to bring a pen and you want to bring a fountain pen that you can use to jot down things that you are on the go while you are doing your things. For example, like maybe you're doing bird watching and you want to take down notes. You don't have the hand because you're bird watching. You have one hand with your binoculars and you only have another hand that is free to uncap the pen. So most probably you will use this type of pen, which is most of the time it is more on the inexpensive end of the price point. And like I mentioned earlier in this video, companies, especially the companies of the three big Japanese model, the Sailor, the Platinum, and the Pilot, for a more expensive end of the pen, what they usually do is they do have this screw cap, so that you have the point of enjoying to reveal the pen and then use the pen with, how do I say, that you are not feeling rushed, you are feeling calm down and you want to write something, and then when you put it back on, you're not in a rush as well. Well, that's what the seller says in the video, and I think that is true. And if you look at the pens that offered by this three big company from Japan, the Namiki line, their King's pen, and I'm not so sure for Platinum, even though I have I have 4 of them. The upper end of the line, they usually offered in twist cap, which they want you to enjoy as well as let it feel luxurious. Plus, it is easier to it's in a better way of maintenance, and it lasts longer compared to you use a snap cap. So that is what their philosophy. And then my new addition will be the retractable pen. Now this is the new on the go, not new actually, it's been a long time in this market, but not many company offered to do pen that is, snap cap pen that is in a retractable form, since it involves quite a bit of parts in the pen in order for it to work. Unlike pen, ball pen, or gel pen, alright, you only have that one ink, and when you're finished, you're done with it. Or you can buy a refilled with pre-filled ink inside. It's a little bit different for a fountain pen, where you have your ink where you can refill it, and you have your tip that you need to do maintenance. So it will be kind of like a lot of part to do compared to like only these or this, right? So this one will be like the more modern way of on the go for people, but because this price point is not within the inexpensive price point, at least in Malaysia, okay, so it is not a preferred choice for beginner or for those people who doesn't really, if the pen get lost, it doesn't makes them feel like they're heartbroken or they lost some part of the body, some part of the limb of their body, and they would like, why did I bring you out, sort of feeling, if you get what I mean anyway. So there are people who like, I'm not going to choose snap cap because I'm afraid that if I do the snapping thingy all the time, the cap may get loose or may create a crack. And when that happens, the capping to the pen is not as tight as it was before there is what they call that thing, crack, or as when you were bought it few years ago, many years ago. So there are people who prefer that only twist. So like me, I don't mind whichever, but I will choose the pen according to how I would want it to be used. If I want to buy a pen for on the go, if it's a ballpoint or a gel, I would prefer a retractable type of pen where I don't have to worry about the cap. I'm not so sure about your other people's opinion. Some of us will prefer to use only cap so that they have the sense of using a pen even though it's on the go. I'm careless, so I can lose a cap just by jotting down notes or things like that. So what is your choice of capping option if you have the option to choose your capping option? Would a pen be a deal breaker if the capping option is not the one that you want for? For example, you want a Platinum 3776 and it is not in a snap cap, or you want a pen, a baby pen, but it's not slidable in order to be a usable pen. Would that be your deal breaker? Let me know in the comment section down below so that I would like to know, does capping really matters to you, or you buy pen just for the pure buying pen to use? That's it. Alright, so that's all for my pen rambling in this episode. I hope you enjoy my rambling, and I hope I did not ramble emptiness in this pen. Until then, take care, and I'll see you again in the next episode. Bye bye.